Good morning, happy Sunday. I hope you're all bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for this lovely Sunday. I hope wherever you are, the weather is good. You've got plenty planned for today. Maybe you are popping off to church a little bit later on or doing something like that, seeing family, or maybe you've got someone cooking you a nice Sunday roast. That would be lovely, having someone cooking you a nice Sunday roast. I think that may be what I might have to have for my lunchtime today. So welcome back to Crafters TV. We've got a fantastic masterclass here for you today. We're going to be all about sort of kinetic cars, pop-out cars, and I'm really looking forward to all the different things that we're going to be seeing today. Lots of people are messaging in, so hello to you all. Thea says, we craft everywhere, man, we craft everywhere. From over here to over we craft everywhere. I think we all do that. Christy Mahoney says, good morning, everyone. Happy Saturday. Carletta, good morning, everybody. Rosalind, good morning from Maryland. And Jacqueline says, hi from Bromley in Kent. Do message in. Let us know if you've got any questions. Kinetic cards can be one of those things that, you know, you might be a little bit reluctant to try. Maybe you don't really know how they're going to work, and you're definitely going to be able to see exactly what you're able to do with them. Because the lovely Corrine is here. And as I said to you before, Corrine and I are here all weekend.
We are.
Plenty of us to talk about. Yep. And you're going to show us some amazing things with these cards today, aren't you?
Yeah, and just in case anybody is worried, yes, Becky and I did have ice cream last night. We did. We went and got our ice cream on the way home. So yeah, the first bit we're going to show you is all about the slide pop-up cards. So you're going to have cards that when you move them, you can then put your sentiment behind. Isn't that absolutely lovely? They fit on the front of cards. I haven't got any boxes, but these on a box lid look amazing. Oh, I'm going to do one on a box lid, Halloween themed, later this afternoon, if we get a chance, in Second Chance Sunday, which is going to look brilliant. And if you wanted to, you can even put multiples on a project. So that one's got pattern paper on the back, but you can have them as multiples. That looks brilliant too. So yeah, so we're going to have lots of fun with our Kinetic cards today.
Fantastic, definitely looking forward to that. This is our slide pop-up card die. Corinne, you're going to show us what we can do with this, aren't you?
I certainly am. Now, you're going to get so many dies. You're going to get 32 dies in this. There are a lot of dies, so much that we have to put it onto both sides of our plastic sheet. So you're going to get dies on one side and on the other. So if you necessarily maybe pop it onto a magnetic shim. But these two are your main dies to make your slide pop up. So I put them onto some white card, just some multi-purpose white card, nothing special, but keep the GSM of the card as strong as you can. So this is about 250, and I think that is absolutely perfect for that. It's your mechanism. So don't go too thin, because if you go too thin, it's not going to take you something moving it around a lot. So 250 for me is the perfect weight for that. Now what we've done here is it's cut out the two pieces, but not only has it cut them out, it's done all of the scoring as well. So you can see we've cut there, we've got a score line here, and we've got a score line there. So everything is ready to go. So that's the top bit, and this bit is the clever bit. This is the sliding piece. So it's scored there. So I always put it die cut side up first and then score it that way. And effectively what you're going to do is you're going to pop that down there, and then this, I'm going to tuck that underneath when we do that, but that's going to act, can you see, as the slide mechanism. It'll look better when it's done. So all I've done here is I've just inked around the edges to make it look a little bit prettier. Yeah, really nice. Now what you need to do is you need to put your adhesive on. And for me, I would always recommend a dry adhesive. When I say dry adhesive, I mean like a tape.
Okay.
I wouldn't be putting a glue on, because when you put a glue on and then you press it down and it squidges and it moves and you can't control it. Because what you want to do is you want to effectively put your adhesive on to create a channel for this piece to go up and down. Now, if you start putting wet adhesive on, you can't control where that goes. Right. So I've put the tape on there, and again, I've put red liner tape on here. So all I'm going to do is, you can see I've put it that way, it's going to go that way round, and I can then take this red liner tape off to there, and then that will fit. Put it on the back so you can't see any of the workings. That will fit absolutely perfectly onto there. And it's as simple as that. So you can see now that's going to fit in that channel. Now, there isn't a mat and layer for this main die, so that's the outside one, but I thought I want one a little bit bigger. So all I did was I turned over my cardstock, I turned over my die, and then I drew round the die in pencil, because your blade is just on the inside. So if you draw around the outside, you are creating a mat and layer. And then I cut on the outside of the pencil line. So that now has created, oops, to get it the right way round, a perfect mat layer. So every die you've got, you can create mat layers like that. Onto there, I put a white piece of card, again, inked with yellow, and the Hello You is available in that was from my Daisy collection, so I used that. So all I need to do, now this piece with the little notch is for the back, so this piece has already been attached. Make sure you attach that first. I can then take my red liner tape off. Well, I've got red liner tape that's playing ball with me today, and then that will fit onto my mat layer that I've created. Now, if you don't create a mat layer like I've done, that would just be straight onto your card base. So you can see now, look, it's made the perfect one. So just remember to create that channel for that sliding mechanism to go up and down. I've just then cut out some little bits of card, because I thought that didn't look very attractive. I thought I want that to look a little bit prettier, so I've cut out a couple of bits of card, and you'll see this matches my cardstock that I'm going to be using. So I'm just covering that just to make it look a little bit prettier with that. And then I've cut this as 2 separate pieces just so that it goes over the join nicer, and you can see that fits perfectly. Then I've got a card base, just a regular, if you know me, tent-fold card all the way. And then I'm going to pop this on. Now, I'm not going to put it straight. We're going to give it a little bit of an angle because I like angles. I might have got a little bit thick there, but we can spread that out. So we're just going to pop that on diagonally onto there. Now, you've got lots of dies in here, and I've just cut the deckled one and the circled ones out, and I'm just going to pop that onto the front of my card. Now, just remember, this piece is going to slide up, so make sure that this doesn't go below there. So just stick that onto here. And then I've got lots of bits that I have cut out from the die set. I've not gone anywhere else. I've just used dies from the die set. And then we can be cutting out, we can be putting on the embellishments. Now, if you saw my sparkle show, glitter and sparkle, you see clear sparkle overlay pens. It wouldn't be one of my cards if we didn't have a little bow somewhere, so we can put that on. I think I'll have another little butterfly just down here, and then we can then just decorate this up with some lovely embellishments just like this. And then you can see how pretty is this. Not only does it look pretty, but it's got gorgeous movement too. Oh, don't forget your foliage. All comes in the set, ready to go. So let me just put on 2 more daisies. Just putting those on there. And I love that, you know, they've come with the set, so you haven't had to go rooting around, looking for other sets. I can put a few more on in a minute. Just slide that under there. But look at that. If I turn this round and put it to show you, I've got a nice card that then has, oops, just a minute. There we go. You can see it says just for you.
So clever.
Hello you. How about that? So all that lovely movement, brilliant.
I love that. That's brilliant. Very nice. I like that indeed. So these are your pop-up cards. These are all the different dies you're going to be getting in that set, so you can create all those different designs. Now, I think that's really clever. I like that idea of having a pop-up card. And I think actually pop-up cards, we always think of them for children, don't we? But no, there's no reason why they shouldn't be for... Pop-up cards are for everybody. Absolutely everybody. Now, while Corrine was doing that little demo, I was looking at what the national days were for today. You know, I do like to know what the national days are. And I would just point out that it is National Weather Person's Day,
Okay.
National Chocolate Fondue Day.
Oh, that one's good.
National Shower a Friend Day. I'm not entirely sure.
No.
I mean, how many, let's just have a poll. How many people are celebrating, it's also World Nutella Day. Are you having Nutella today? Are you having a chocolate fondue? Or are you taking part in National Shower a Friend Day? I haven't got a friend that I want to shower, to be honest.
No.
But it just goes to show there is a day for everything, absolutely.
And for everyone.
And for everyone, that's very true. Debbie says, good morning from Brighton, Michigan. I'm selling my handmade greeting cards and bookmarks at a craft show in a couple of hours. Good luck with that. I hope it goes well. Send us in a picture when you've got it all set up, because I always quite like seeing people's makes at a craft fair. Mary Walker says, good morning from Delaware Beaches. Sandy, good morning, CC Crafty friends from Florida's Treasure Coast. Taya says, do you know the new song of Ben? It's brilliant. I don't think I've heard it. Have I heard it? Ben just keeps churning them out. He's like Taylor Swift.
I've heard he's done another one,
you
but
know,
I've
there's
not seen
always
it.
a new song for Ben. He's gonna be like Elvis Presley. He's on every couple of weeks. He's got a new song coming out.
Apparently he's on his socials.
Oh, I'll have to. We should have been looking at that rather than watching TV last night, Corrine.
We should.
Adriana says, good Sunday morning, everyone from San Antonio, Texas. Suzanne says, great idea, Corrine, about all the layering. Carletta says, beautiful card. Adriana says, cute card. Kerry says, good morning from Virginia. I'm still half asleep, I think. Have a cup of tea. Cup of tea and some Nutella, or maybe a shower to wake you up, see if you can find somebody to help you with that. You never know. But if you've got any questions about any of the cards we're going to be doing today, do message in and let us know what you're going to be doing. Lots of people saying, shower a friend, ooh, no. No, I'm with you on that. I mean, unless it was a really No.
What you want to say?
friend.
Hot friend.
Yeah.
Come on, just say the words, Becky.
I mean, Zac Efron. Would I shower Zac Efron?
Is he your friend?
He's not my friend. I'm sorry.
I know you're mixing some circles, but
I'm sorry to all my friends. There isn't any of you that I want to shower, but you know, if you've broken an arm or something, I will help you. But you know, I've got a burning desire to shower anybody. These are our creator card here. We've got 4 different types of ones. We've got those all here, and Corrine's going to show us some of the things you can do with these.
These are so clever. These are our ornate pop-out cards, and I'll show you on the die. So what you've got is you've got this lovely shape, and as Becky just showed you, there's different shapes. You've got your circle, you've got all of the other ones, but we're going to work with the circle today. So this is a grande circle. Now, how they work is you have all of your dies in the set, and these are just your regular mats and layers. But if you look at this one, hopefully we can come in nice and close, you can see you've got the circle, the decal circle, but here at the top, and at the bottom, can you see the die is broken? Is that the right word? The circle is broken. Not the die is broken, the circle is broken. Right. We've just got a little notch there and a little notch there. And you've got the little markers, like the little, I think our Debbie calls them the kissy lips. So you've got the kissy lips there, and that shows you the centre of them. So I have got some cardstock just here, and I'm going to pop my die on here. So I'm going to pop one towards the top. I just need to, oh, no, that doesn't go there. Right, I've put a mark on here, that's right, I'm going. So I've marked the point, and I haven't scored it just here because I don't want this bit to be scored. So I'm going to pop this, oops, my tape. I'm going to pop this onto here, and I'm going to have to do this in 2 pieces. So I'm going to pop this one on here. So this is going to be a fold back card, and I can put that on there, and then I can put it onto my cutting plate. Sorry, I didn't show you. There we go, my cutting plate. And remember, I've got the score line just there, and that's then going to run through my die cutting machine. So the next thing I need my scoreboard. So I'm just going to work with my larger scoreboard, and what we're going to do is we're then going to score there, and then we're going to stop at the circle and then carry on afterwards. So we've got this here, there we are, and that's going to bring this in. So you can see it's semi-cut that out. Let's lift that low tack tape. Always best to use low tack tape so it doesn't move. There we go. So you can see that really clearly, look. Can you see that's held on at the middle? So all you would then do is you'd get your scoring tool, and then you'd put that onto here. Has this one not got a line on? It hasn't. So we can pop this on here, doesn't matter which side. And then you would score down to there, stop, and then down to there and stop. So that will now score back, and that, can you see, pops out. So when you are doing it, so this will then just create that lovely pop out. Now what you might want to do is, as I've done here, and I've created a double ornate pop out because I thought that looks really nice. So all this wants to do is we want it to pop out of the front of our card, just like that. So I've just done 2. And the other top tip I would give you is just reinforce those joins. So I've just put a little, I'm not going to take the back off that red liner tape. Right. I've just put it on there just to reinforce that, just so that it, you know, doesn't do anything. And then you can cut out all of your mats and layers that comes with that set. So I've got my pink. Now I've put this on with foam tape, just a 1mm foam tape, the thinnest foam tape I could find, and that will then fit on to there. Then my next layer, just again, a little bit of foam tape. So just keep sort of cross-hatching your foam tape. So this that runs there, so I want this one to run up and down, and it's just going to add extra support if you cross-hatch your foam tape every time. So that foam tape ran up and down, so this one's now going to run across. Oops, there we go. And then my final one is I've just put my sentiment on. We can just put that on there, and then I've done a second one to go on my second piece, and this has got my birthday on. So I've just used one of my stamps from one of my collections, and I put my happy birthday on there. Now, just to cover up these little bits, I have cut out some cardstock, and we can just put, I'm going to put the glue onto here, so that it goes in the right place. There we go. And then we can slide this cardstock into there underneath that as well. And that's going to cover up a lot of the workings. And then I've just got little pieces. So these are going to go back. Oh, let me just get that back. And what I'm going to have then is these, so those pop out, and I just want to decorate these panels at the side. Oh, just make sure that sticks. It's onto pearl card. So we can then pop this one on to our card base. There we go. I've just put a little ribbon around there. So that's one. And then we've got our second one. And that's going to go on here. You can see I've just put my pearls on opposite corners. I've got a little bow to go on here. So I'm just going to pop a little bit of tape and I can stick that on. Now, all I've got next is I've just cut out some dies. I've got my Grande Swirls dies, just because I really like them and I thought they would make a nice decorative element. So we're using them more as a decoration than anything else. And then all I'm going to do, oops, we're coming unstuck. I'm going to press that down. Pop a nice blob of glue. And you know me, I love to add flowers. So we can add plenty of flowers just down here. And we can even have them coming down the swirls, and just a little bit of foliage just to go in there. Oops, that still keeps popping off. We can just pop those on to there. Did I glue that down? Yes, I did. And then I want my glue just to pop a couple of leaves, and then we are done. So there we are. One more on here. But how about just like that? Make sure they're pressed down. I perhaps need a little bit more glue on there. And then we have our ornate pop out, just popping out of the card, just like that.
Fantastic, great use of that, really enjoy that. So these are our pop-out cards. This one is the Grande Circle.
Oh, that's a nice new word.
Baroque Oval, Majestic Damask, and Regal Diamond. Really lovely. We've got a few samples here to show you what they look like in other sort of designs. They are really great. I think they're really clever using these. So that one is more of the, I think that's the, is that the Regal Diamond one? Yeah, that's a Regal Diamond one. This one here. I like the idea of having something that pops out. And I think it works really well having two in there, like you've done with that particular sample. This one here, that's very pretty. All those colours are lovely, that sort of minty green and that pink. And then finally, we've got this one here. Look at that. That is a really special card, isn't it? Very, very nice. So lots of things you can do with that. You're all quite interested in the shower a friend thing that I've come out with. Michelle says, is it shower a or with a friend? It's actually shower a friend. Well, yes. So somebody did say, could you shower your dog? Yes, I'd shower my dog. I wouldn't shower with my dog. That would be the difference. Chantal says, shower friend in cards. Yeah, maybe it's not actually shower, underneath the shower. Maybe it's showering people with good wishes or cookies, as Carolyn said. Grace also said.
I like that type of showering.
Yeah. Or showering glitter, or showering compliments. Maybe that's what we should be doing. Bethan says, shower a friend with love and craft supplies. I think we'd all like that. And what was the other? Grace said maybe I should. If Harry Styles was my friend, would I be content with showering him? Possibly. Thea says, can we have the measurements, Corinne, for the card that you've made?
Oh, of course we can.
Would that be okay?
Of course we can. Right. So the card blank that I used was 15 inches by 7, and then I've scored in at 2.5 and 5, and then 2.5 from the other side and 5. So I've just scored 15 and 7. So that's the main thing. But so you cut it down into gatefold elements. So you've got 5, 5. And you split each 5 in half. Okay. So yeah, really easy measurements.
Lovely. And was that with a double-sided Centura pearl?
Yes, it is.
Yeah. And was that an A3 piece?
Yes,
Yeah.
you'd have to use an A3 piece.
Okay, brilliant. Jacqueline says, you make it look so easy, it would take me hours. Rosalind said, I looked away for a few minutes and you were already done. It does make it very, you make it look really easy, but as you probably saw from the craft along that I did yesterday, it's not that easy because I had to redo some of my bits. Carlotta said, very pretty card. Michelle knits for you, very pretty. Adriana says, pretty card, it is very nice. Do let me know what else you would like to shower somebody with. Compliments, cards, maybe this is the day where you shower a friend in love rather than shower gel. Just putting it out there. Let us know what you're doing. We are going to look at the pop-out character cards. We've got a few here. I'll flick through so you can see all of the different kinds of ones that we're going to be doing. We've got here plenty of options for you. Down here, and then these final ones. And Corinne's going to show us something with these in your next demo. Aren't you?
We are, but first let's have a quick look, a few samples for these. So these are absolutely gorgeous. I can't squeeze it open. Now these are so clever because what we're doing is we're giving you the elements to create the twirling characters. Now you might worry then that you're going to have a white rear of the character. So what we're going to give you is we're going to give you the front stamp and the back stamp. So you'd cut one piece with the front stamp on and one piece you put the back stamp on, and then when you put your thread down the middle, it's going to twirl front and back. So that's the lovely bird. You've got the little bee. Now this just looks like a regular card, but then when you open it out, you've got the little bird, little bee, sorry, twirling around in there. I love this one. This is the little dog. It says the cat did it, but when you open it out, the little dog twirls around just like that. We've got the gorgeous butterfly, and again, you've got both sides, so it twirls round there. Then you've got the elephant, Heffalump. Isn't he absolutely cute? These are going to make beautiful little baby cards as well, aren't they? And you're going to get the aperture as well as the twirling animal. So it's giving you so much scope. Of course, if the dog did it, maybe the cat did it as well. So you've got the twirling. And I love the goldfish bowl that you get with the cat.
Clever. Very, very nice. I'm looking forward to seeing how these work actually, because I've had a think about making these twirling characters, but I'd never quite work out how you put the threads in, you encompass it into the card. So I'm looking forward to seeing what you're going to be doing with that. Chantel says, what do the crafters do with all the sample cards they make? I don't know where they go. Do they go into the library?
Yes.
Yeah, so you might find that when you watched a show and someone's made a card, you might find it appears in the next couple of days when we're showing through samples. So there is a huge library full of different cards that people have made. Linda says, good morning from Maryland, everybody. Good morning. I hope you're having a lovely day today. And Corinne, you're going to show us how to create a little demo of these cards. I might as well show you the boards while we're here, so you can see exactly what you're going to be getting here. So this first one is your twirling unicorn. So you're going to be getting those stamps and you're also going to be getting those dies. So you've got the aperture die as well as those individual dies there too. This is your twirling elephant with that lovely, you always think of elephants with balloons, don't you? And you obviously get the double-sided stamps to create those different sides there as well. Twirling dog with that little kennel that you've got there for the dog as well, including all those little stamps with the bones as well. So if you were going to be, you wanted to create your actual background like that sample, you can do that there as well. Twirling bunny, this is going to be great for Easter. Maybe you're already thinking about Easter cards. It's going to come up quite quickly, isn't it? Next one is your twirling cat. Again, I think that's lovely with that little fishbowl that you've got there. And I think having those little sentiments saying the dog did it, the cat did it, I think that's really quite clever. A twirling bird, this one's going to be great for Valentine's Day. We've not got long now until we have to start sending, until we're accepting Valentine's gifts is what I want to say rather than sending Valentine's cards. Just hoping that anybody is listening, watching me, Zac Efron, Harry Styles, that's thinking, I know, now I need to send Becky a Valentine's card. This next one is your twirling bee. And then finally, you've got twirling butterfly as well. And so all of those different options there. Corinne, which one are you going to be using for this
I'm
demo?
going to be using the butterfly.
Lovely.
There we go. Okay, so what I wanted to do was I wanted to make a card. So there's my cards, and we're going to have the aperture cut into the front, but I wanted to hide my working. So I've actually made it as a trifold card. So I've used A3 card, and I've cut it to 15 by 6.5. So I've got 3 sections of 5 inches, but what I've done is I've just trimmed off the very slightest bit of there so that it finishes just shy of that fold. So this is going to be my front, this double fold here. And what I'm going to do is I've got my matte layer, and I'm just going to put the tiniest little bit, let's go around, oh yeah, I like that way. Let's put a tiny little bit of sticky dotty tape in the middle, and I'm going to pop it where it's going to finish. So then I'm going to get my aperture die, and I'm going to cut through there. So let's put a piece of tape on to there. Then I'm going to open this out because I want it to cut through. I want it to cut through my matte layer. I want it to cut through my front of my card and the back of the front. So I want it to go through all 3 layers. So we can pop that onto here. So I've opened it out because I don't want it to touch that. Now you might find that at this point you need to take maybe your magnetic shim out, because if you've got 3 layers of card, it might be too thick. But I'm going to start off with 3 layers. If it's too thick, it's going to reverse my plates out. No, this is going quite fine. I'm quite happy with that. So you can see, but just test your plates and see what you need to do. But just remember, you've got about 700 GSM of cardstock there. So what I can then do is open this out, and then I can come through here. Now, it hasn't gone through all the layers, but that's fine because it's gone through my top layer, it's gone through my middle layer, where that double-sided is, and it's made an indent into the final layer. So that means that I can now click that die into place because I've got the indent. So that 3rd layer, what we were after was getting the markings rather than the full indent. What you could do is try going through the same bit twice, but I just sometimes find it easier. So what we've got now is we've got the perfect matte layer with the aperture, and we've also got the card base with it cut through one, and we're just about to cut it through the second. So when we take this out now, it's going to line up brilliantly. So when I take that out, I fold that over, I put that there. Can you see I've got the perfect matching, it matches absolutely perfectly. So what I want to do next is to put my, I'm going to use this one because I've cut it through this one so I know it fits. I'm going to pop this piece on to the front. So that's going to fit just perfect on there. So every time, it doesn't matter, as long as you use the one that you used as your guide to cut it out, it's going to fit. So that little bit of double-sided tape held it in place, but once it, you know, because I put the tape behind where I was cutting out the aperture, then it just released it for me. So we can then pop that onto there, and I've now got that in the middle. So all I need to do now is to die cut. Now I die cut this before I stamp it. So I've die cut the little butterfly out twice. So you die cut it out twice. And on one of them, so you get your front and your back stamp. And on the, sorry, which one have I done there? I've done the reverse. So I've turned the die cut over and I've stamped onto the back. And then on the other one, and I can usually do this with my rocker block. I hope I can today. I can when I'm at home. I can take this and then I can just make sure that I've got it in the right place. So that's going to go over there. And then we can stamp that over here. And we can then, look, I can line that up. And that's going to, there we go. You can, even though it's my rocker block, you can see it's stamped perfectly. So now I've got a front elevation and a back elevation, so that when I put them together, can you see I've now got the front and the back?
Perfect.
The first time I did it, I stamped up 2 sides of one piece. And then I was like, actually, where do I now put the string? And I'll show you, because look, you can see on that one, I coloured in the back. And then I was like, silly me, I need the 2 elements. And that one, I haven't coloured on the back, but this colour has actually come through because it's Nina card. So you know how the colour soaks through. That's not a problem because we're going to cover it up. I've got some invisible thread. Believe me, I have. believe me, you have to. And I'm going to pop, I've got a piece of tape on there, just my double-sided red liner tape, and I'm going to pop my tape, so I want him to fly sort of that way, so I'm going to pop, now I like to do a couple of thicknesses of my invisible thread, and I'm just going to run that down the middle. Let's hope it catches. There we go, it's going to catch just there. So then when I now put my second one on, I don't even need tape on there, I can then pop that one on to there. That will then line up, and you can see that that now, look at that, he's perfectly double-sided. Oops, that thread goes that way. There we go, get the threads in the right place. You can see he's perfectly double-sided, and you can't see the thread. So that's the key bit. So what I want to do here is I put my thread, some more tape on here. I'm going to take this off, and that's going to go there. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop this onto here, and I'm just going to find my threads. Takes a second, and I'm going to pop one thread on the top. And what you can do, if you feel that it will be more secure, that needs to just pull up a little bit. Let's just pull that up a little bit higher. Put that just on there. There we go, what we're going to do. So let the thread go over the top of the card to begin with. We can take that, and then I'm going to grab some more red liner tape, and I'm going to put a piece over the top. You don't even have to take the backing off it, but by putting another piece on, that thread now can't go anywhere.
Okay.
Then all I'm going to do is I'm going to twirl him round, because remember, these are our twirling characters. So I'm going to twirl this one round, twistle him round lots of times, and then I'm going to pop the second one down there, keeping it nice and taut. And then I can then put my thread over the top, and then put that on. And when we close that now, I need to cut those threads off, but can you see, oops, that's moving. Can you see when we open it, look, he twirls.
Oh, that's lovely. And that makes perfect sense. Love that. Beautiful. Really, really nice. So these are our twirling characters. The first one is our twirling unicorn. Then we have our twirling elephant. We have a twirling dog. We have a twirling bunny, twirling cat, twirling bird, twirling bee, and then finally twirling butterfly, which you've just seen. I've got a question.
Okay, I'm going to finish this off while we do questions.
Now, my question is, it's not a question that's come in, but my question is, could you, I can't think what they're called. Were they called shrinkies? You know, where you'd cut things, you'd have.
Oh yeah, shrink plastic.
Shrink plastic. Could you do something like that with the dies and with the stamp. And then make them, then sort of shrink them, but make them really small? So
make them into little charms.
Almost like little charms. Could you do that with them?
Yes.
And then you could potentially have two together, and they could twirl, but they would be smaller, wouldn't they?
Yes.
So you could almost have big ones and little ones.
Yes, I see what you mean.
So
on your thread, you'd have different sizes. I don't see why not.
That sounds quite, you know.
That does sound really cute, doesn't it?
Yeah, because I quite like the idea of having the little different sizes in there, and that could be quite interesting.
Yeah.
Or maybe having the card like that, and then, like you say, making them into a charm as a gift to a child. You almost got like a little charm bracelet inside there with the same character.
That would be lovely,
and that
wouldn't
would work. And would you have to use a particular type of ink?
Yes, you would. You'd use your, get it right, you'd use your stays on, that's the word I was looking for.
Right.
It just came to me, your stays on ink, because that would then be fine with the heat.
And if you want to colour that,
still do it with the alcohol pens.
Do the alcohol pens, okay. I suppose when it shrinks, it becomes more vibrant.
I always think so, because your colours shrink down, don't they, and become more intensified, yes.
Oh, I might have to give that a try.
Okay,
I like that idea.
Right, now, what I wanted to show you was, this cuts the aperture, and I find sometimes when you get an aperture, it can be quite raw, because there's nothing on there.
Yeah.
So all I've done is I've used my stitched edge circles to cut a circle slightly bigger. Then I've used the aperture die again to cut through there. Now, if you look at that one here, and then if I just put a little bit of glue on here, a little bit of my tacky glue onto there and put that on, to me, that makes a significant difference. It finishes
finishes it off, doesn't it?
Really, really does. So now we've got this on here. I am actually going to take this red liner tape off because we want this just to be a regular card. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my glue on here all the way round. I'm going to put it on the one that I've trimmed slightly smaller, put it down there, and then do that. So what we're doing now is we're hiding all the workings. There's absolutely no way that invisible thread can come unstuck because we've stuck it so many times. I actually haven't stuck that one. If I've not stuck that on properly, let's just put a little bit more glue. I thought I'd stuck it down.
That's what it is.
Yeah, there we go. Let's put a little bit more glue on there. I thought I'd stuck. I was thinking it keeps lifting. Because I've not stuck it down properly.
And is that from the Vintage Butterfly collection?
It certainly is.
Oh, I'm getting to know my paper pads, you know.
You're doing well,
Yeah.
because I'm still learning mine and I'm using them all the time. So pop that back on there. And then for me, I just need to decorate it. So I've got another piece of the pearlescent. And again, from the Vintage Butterfly, because for me, that works perfectly. Put that one on. And then I always think it looks better on the when you've got an aperture, you need to remember to decorate the insides of your card. You don't need to always decorate the insides of your card. If you've not got an aperture, that's entirely up to you. But if you've got an aperture, then do that. Now, in this set, we had some stamps, so I'm using those to stamp Hello Beautiful. And I love this sort of bold, you know, script. So that's going to go there. I've got a little bow, which I'm going to pop up here. I was obviously in a bow mood when I was...
You do like your bows.
I do like my bows, and I think this weekend I've used a few. I can go weeks without using bows, and then other days, you know, I'm doing some more. And I think it must just be how I feel when I'm prepping. So you can always tell things that I've put together. Now, the other thing we've got is we've got some little dies and stamps that come in the set, so we can then just add little extra decorative elements all the way around. Just overlap these. I'm actually going to put that one over the top. Just build these up, because for me, this is what just finishes it off, is just putting these extra floral elements on. So I've got
and they're all included.
They're all
in the pack,
included. That you've got the stamps and the dies. I've not had to fussy cut these out. The dies come with them as well. So I can pop one there, and then let's just go one. Oops, piece of my red liner. One can just come just down there to tie it all together. And now we have the finished card, and you can see how that twirls. Can you imagine if there was a little breeze just blowing? That would look absolutely gorgeous. And you're going to keep on twirling because I've twisted the invisible thread round. Doesn't that look beautiful?
So you'd always twist the thread before you secure it. That makes sense, because then it's always going to keep on
twirling,
twirling afterwards. Yeah.
I mean, it might not be twirling all the time, but at least it's going to have that bit of movement.
Yeah. No, that's really pretty. I love that.
Thank you.
I'm very inspired by those cards. I think I'm going to have a go at doing those. I think
I'd like to see what you do.
Yeah. If you don't have, so the invisible thread is basically like fishing line, isn't it?
It is.
If you don't have that, could you use ordinary cotton?
Oh, I've seen some of the samples. They've just used cotton. I think gold thread looks really nice. If you can't do it as an invisible thread, make it a feature.
Yeah.
Don't just try to sort of, oh, I'll just do. For me, either make it invisible or make it a focal point. So something really nice like a gold thread or something that ties in. But yeah, either completely ignore it or make it stand out.
And of course, because they are those double-sided stamps and dies, you could use them for other things like pop-up cards. They would work really well, wouldn't they?
They look lovely with anything with an aperture that you can see both. Top of bookmarks, they're going to look lovely because then you've got the front and the back, or, you know, little gift tags, anything like that.
Yeah, I think that's a great idea, very much like that. Lots of people loving that. Kathy Myers says that's such a cute set. Linda, your question, I think we've answered that about the red liner tape. Shadiah says it's very cold here. I've lost track track of time, good morning.
Good morning.
It's very cold in the studio, and I did bring a jacket, and I did think I might have to put it on.
I heard my husband was telling me last night there is a weather front in America. Now, it won't be over all of it, and I think he said Washington area, I can't remember.
Right.
Minus 75 with the wind chill.
What?
Minus 75 with the wind chill.
You can't do anything when it's
apparently,
that cold,
if you're outside uncovered for more than a few minutes, you get frostbite.
Uncovered? You mean naked?
No, I don't mean naked. I mean, if you've not got gloves on your fingers.
Right, okay. I was going to say.
Becky, you're just carrying on with the same train of thought, aren't you?
Well, you know, there are those people that like to, you know, when there's a frozen lake or a frozen river, they like to break the ice and swim in that, don't they? Which I always think is interesting, I would say. It's not something I would do. So I did wonder, you know, maybe they're just saying, you know,
uncovered just means
not wearing gloves.
Not wearing gloves.
Yeah. Hopefully there's nobody going out that's completely naked.
Not at minus 75.
No.
With wind chill.
It might be a little bit chilly. Suzanne says, if I try that with the shrink plastic, I'll show you results. I haven't got any, but I'll order some in between, and I'll try and get the dyes, and I'll have a go at that. I quite like the idea of doing that. Pamela says, beautiful card, Corinne. Carletta says, lovely card. Linda, great card, lovely card from Michelle. And Kerry's just laughing, as is Suzanne, with the idea that people are going out without many clothes on. So if it is chilly where you are, I think actually they say, as long as your head is covered and your feet are covered and your hands are covered, the rest of you doesn't really matter. Not something I think I want to try or even see anybody else trying, but there is that rule, isn't there? Because that's where you lose the most heat.
Yes.
I don't know. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, maybe we can find the scientific data to prove that you know, there's people in the Arctic that are just wearing hats, gloves and shoes. We can't send Jake out with no clothes on. That just seems really cruel. Because I don't think Jake's got a hat. If he had a hat, it would be okay. But maybe I could fashion him a hat from some of the fabric that I've got here. Maybe something like that.
Could you see his reaction?
Guess what we're doing, Jake? We're
doing an experiment. You outside in the cold.
If we do it, I was going to say we'll film it, but we won't, because that'll be no, we won't do anything like that. I also want to know if anybody's got any plans today. You know, you planning on doing anything exciting on a Sunday? What do you normally do on a Sunday? What would you normally do on a Sunday, Corinne?
Try and do as little as possible.
Do you?
Yeah, but no, we don't have set days, and we're not like into cooking big Sunday roasts or anything like that. Just for, because my husband's retired and I work these funny shifts. Yeah. We don't tend to differentiate between one day or the other.
Every day's like a Sunday for you.
Every day's like a Sunday, yes.
Isn't there a song? Every day is like a Sunday. Monday, on Sunday, Mondays, they're the same. Normally when I'm at home, my husband cooks a roast on a Sunday, which I love the fact that he cooks a roast, but it means that I have to do the clearing up.
That's not in our house.
Well, I really fancy a roast today, and we're here today, so it's not
you see, if Tracy was here, she would have ordered us a roast.
Maybe we should order a roast.
They're really impressive roasts.
That would be quite good. I quite fancy a roast. So let us know what you're getting up to today. Have you got any plans? Are you crafting? If you're crafting, what are you crafting? Are you having a go at a new craft? Because obviously last month it was all about New Year, new craft. I'd like to know if people did decide they're going to do a different craft that they haven't done in the past. As I said before, I've got loads of crafts that I've purchased all the things for and not done anything with. So I'm going to try. I was doing a bit of knitting yesterday.
Yeah, but you knitted for nearly 2 hours and then pulled it all out.
I wasn't very happy with it, so I'm going to have to start all over again. So do let us know what you're up to, what crafts you're doing, and let us know if you've got any questions as well. These are our waterfall dies. This first one here is Make-A-Wish. The next one is Tea Party. Then we have Hip Hip Hooray. And then finally, Butterfly Kisses. Corrine, what are you going to be making with these?
I'm going to use butterfly kisses and I'm going to make a waterfall card with this. So what you've got is you've got your mechanism here that makes your waterfall card, and then you've got all your decoration to it. So I'm going to cut my my element, and this is from, the paper I'm using is from the, did I use it from the Gnomes or did I use it from something else? I think it was from the Gnomes collection.
Right.
I'm sure it was. I'm sure it was. And then my orange that I'm using is from my bright cardstock. I write it all down, and I've written down all the pens that I've used, and I've not written down the cardstock, but that was a bit silly of me.
Is it just the green cardstock or is it the patterned cardstock?
And the pattern cardstock I'm using is definitely from the Gnomes. So what you've got here is you've got your mechanism, and it cuts it all out. Now, not only does it cut, hopefully you can see, can you see all those score lines in there?
Yeah.
So fold and score on all of those, which is what I've done here. So you can see I've folded those. So basically it goes up in increments. And then you've got your butterfly here. So these little arms tuck around. And what it's going to do when it finishes, you want it to tuck around so that this piece sits within there. Can you see? So it just works like that. So it's really, really easy. So as I mentioned, I've got some of my gnome paper. I've got a nice big card blank, and I'm going to pop this onto here. It's all about the mats and layer. This is a lovely, vibrant card, so we can pop this on here. So I've got my first layer. That's going to go on just there. Doesn't that look lovely? Then I've got some nice, the dotty layer, and I'm going to pop that on, just popping that on, and I'm going to go at a little bit of an angle. We're all about the angles today, aren't we? I did that earlier. And then my third one is I'm just going to pop it just that way, just to give a little bit of interest. So once we've got those onto there, just popping those on, I can then pop this one onto here. Just do with those sticking. So all I'm going to do, remember, tuck those in and then wrap that around. Now again, this is where a dry adhesive, I don't know if that sounds like the wrong term, a dry adhesive.
No, that
because
makes sense.
It's not like a wet glue.
Yeah.
A glue that's not going to squidge and move around because we don't want it to catch any of the other bits. So I can pop that onto there. Let's follow the angle of that. And I'm going to pop that just on there, and that will hold nicely. So then you can see, look, can you see that? Oh, make sure it's stuck down. You can see that now folds down there. Just give it that's what I just need to do, just make sure I've got enough room for that last one to come under. And then what you need to do is you use this die, and then you've got all of the stamps to cut and stamp your butterflies. And then what I have done is I've cut 3 out and coloured them using my pens. Don't they look beautiful and vibrant?
Lovely.
And then I've cut 2 out of the cardstock that matches everything else, because then it just matches. I forgot to tuck that in. There, I'm just going to tuck this into here. I forgot to put it in. There we go, we can just put that in to say hi. I've also cut one of the little elements out that says pull, just so that people know it's a card with movement. And then what I need to do is I need to pop these on. So I'm going to move this up right to the top. So I'm going to pop my, oops, just need that to dry. We're going to put my first one on. So my first one just needs to go there, and I'm just going to adhere across the top. Now this is where I'm going to use my tape pen. So I'm just going to come a strip across there, and that's just going to go, the first one is the easiest one to put on. Then I'm going to go with a coloured one, doesn't matter which, let's go green. And now I've got that little rectangle, so I need to be really careful where I put my adhesive. So my adhesive needs to come there and there, but on the back. Okay. So I can then just pop it straight across there, and that will then line up just here. Can you see? There we are. Then we're going to go with the next one in this adhesive in the same place, and we can pop that on there. So all the time I'm making sure the wings are below that score line. Then we'll go in with my orange one. Oh, I might have gone a little bit wide with that. We can just pop that on just there. And then my final one is going to go just there. And now when I pull. So you just got to make sure you get the first one. So can you see? Look at, just go my glue, it's got stuck. There we go. Oh, there, it just wants to tuck in. Once it's tucked in, there we go. Can you see?
So
and we've now got that waterfall element. Just tuck in, there we go. Isn't that clever?
That is beautiful. Very, very nice. I love that. Very, very clever. So these are our waterfall cards. These are the balloon stamps you can see here. This is the waterfall balloon. This is Hip Hip Hooray, so that's with that collection. The next one are your waterfall cupcakes. And then you've got your actual dies here. This is at Make-A-Wish, this collection here. You've then got the butterflies here with the dies for the butterfly kisses. Then we have this one here, which is the teacups, which go with the tea party dies. Very clever waterfall dies that we've got here for you. I was giggling earlier.
Okay.
Because Zoe says, thanks, Becky. I've now got an image of naked people with only bobber hats, gloves and socks on. My pleasure. Regina says, good morning, Corrine, Becky and all crafters from Buffalo. Just tuned in to see Corrine finish that beautiful card.
Go on.
Michelle Knits for You says, can I shower Jake?
If she wants.
Does she mean our Jake or is it another Jake? Let us know.
Probably our Jake, probably.
That made me
Bless
laugh.
him. He might get a complex. He might think that people think he needs to be showered.
Thea says, I'm crafting with a box sent with love. So when I was asking people what they were doing today, that is a really nice one. Kerry says she's going to honour the day and find a friend to shower with.
It's not shower with, it's shower a friend.
Yeah,
You've got to stand out and make sure they do it properly.
At A or with, who cares? You know, make it your own. Maybe mix it all up. I mean, what did I say? It was national. Find a weatherman to shower with.
Whilst
and then give him
Nutella.
some Nutella afterwards. Shadiah says, I have all the materials. My daughter-in-law is coming over at 1 for us to make a card for her mother's birthday. That's what I'm going to be doing, and I'm at the ready. Pamela says, awesome card again. It's really effective, that little card,
really is.
isn't it?
I've just put some extra bits on, but we'll show you that.
Excellent.
I just want to show you the 4 that we've made in this show, so we can pick a card of the show.
We need to do a little vote, don't we? Definitely.
We do. So first of all, it's all about the movement. So we've done our slide pop-up. So I'm doing it from the wrong angle there. You can do the slide pop-up there. So we've got that one first. That's number 1. We've got the ornate pop-out. That's number 2. We have got the twirling, whatever, what they're called? Quilling characters. I couldn't remember the second word. Absolutely beautiful. That's number 3. And I've just put a couple more butterflies on at the bottom and a bow. And that then is our waterfall one that just goes down just like that. There you go. You can see how perfect is that. So you've got 4, 3, 2, or 1.
Very difficult again.
But very different.
Yeah,
very different.
Get your votes in. I would be hard pushed to choose one out of those because they were all really clever. Learning so much by you showing us what you can do with these kinetic cards, because when I see them as a finished item, I think, oh, that looks complicated. I wouldn't have thought I could do that.
Because we're giving you the dies, we're giving you the stamps, and where necessary, I don't even think I've mentioned, you're going to get the instructions. So when you get this one, this is the waterfall because it's still on my desk, you're going to get the full instructions to do that. With the twirling characters, there was an instructions in there as well. So don't worry, we always make sure you've got the instructions. You can always go onto YouTube and find shows where we've used them, or you can, we put out how-tos and everything. So there's plenty of education to go with them.
That's it, absolutely. I totally agree with you on that. So get your votes in. I haven't got a winner just yet. Suzanne says, lovely as always, Corrine.
Thank you.
Corrine is just lovely anyway.
Thank you.
Honestly, yesterday we chat all the way through the shows.
We did.
All the way in between the shows. We sang in the car on the way home.
We did a bit of Cher.
We did a bit of Cher. Corrine sang it properly and I sang it like a drag queen. with my show impression. And then we chatted at home, and before we knew it, it was about 11:30. Yeah. It's a tough one when we're there. I feel sorry for the neighbours. They just hear us giggling away. I do have a winner.
Wow, that was
now.
quick. That was quick.
It was quick. It is, and again, I'd like to ask you, what one do you think was the winner?
1 or 3?
Well, interesting, because it was between 1 and 3.
Oh, wow.
And actually, the winner is number 1.
Perfect.
But it was very close, number 3.
There you go. Number 1. Thank you. We'll put that towards demo of the day later.
Hopefully, demo of the week even.
I know.
You've got a couple.
I've got a few up there.
Yeah, you've got a few up there, so I'm pretty sure that you're going to be winning on that. So later on today, we have got first look. We've got 3D folders and dies.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to seeing that.
Yes, 3D embossing folders. There's 4 embossing folders, if I remember rightly, in the collection, and each one has some dies that do perfect mats and layers to go in the aperture. Or I'm going to show you on one of them where you can cut out the aperture first before you do your 3D embossing. So lots of different ways to use them. We'll have a first look later, and they will launch later this week, I'm assuming.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know when, but soon.
Yep. And we've got Second Chance Sundays.
We have got Second Chance Sunday.
So much on Second Chance Sunday. When I looked at the list of all the products, it just goes on and on and on and on and on. There's loads for you to see on that. So we're going to leave you to enjoy the rest of your day, whoever you might be looking to shower with. Are you going to be eating Nutella out of a jar with a big spoon? Or are you just going to be having a roast dinner? Who knows? But we do hope to see you later on today. We're going to have a little break, a cup of tea, and maybe try and order some roast dinner for later on. We'll enjoy the rest of your day, and we'll speak to you later. Bye-bye.